I was wondering if you could spend the next 5 minutes with me talking about this film's themes and the words of wisdom it passes on. These are the kinds of stories I chase, especially as I grow older and my life begins to pick up momentum and I take on more responsibilities as a parent and husband. So it's nice when a story can cause you to stop, notice the little things like a home sweet home doormat, theater popcorn, and a bridge's suspension cables swaying in the wind. Which thematic element, whether it is the little things, being selfless, learning from cowardice, or seeking out human experiences, did you find yourself most planting your flag in the ground for?
Good question. I mean, honestly, without, I'd say all of the above. I mean, the the movie that we made, very much, at least for me, was about growing up and growing old, which are two things that happen to two very different members of our society. Very young people grow up and they have all these experiences, and sometimes they don't know what to do with them, and they're hard to file away, and they're also hard to talk about. And then the older members of our society who are often kind of shunned because they're growing old, and no one wants to talk about growing old. It's as if it was a taboo subject. And ironically, I feel like they're two groups of people who have so much in common, and they could talk to each other and learn from each other so much, and yet somehow that seems to be not a common affair. But I realize, very much as you described, as I'm growing older, I've got a young daughter, I have my parents who are, getting on in life, and I'm at a point where I want to take everything I learned from my parents and I want to pass it on to my kids, but I don't want to colour my kids as well with experiences or taint their experience by trying to force something upon them. I'd love them to learn on their own accord. I want to protect them, and at the same time I want them to go out into the world and be prepared. And I'm also looking at my parents and I want to reassure them that I'm going to be there. And at the same time, I find it personally quite scary, the idea of my parents growing old. I don't know what it's going to be like when I don't have my parents anymore. And so all of these aspects slowly came together in the character of Finch and the character of Jeff, where it was this opportunity to look at both sides of the coin and the way in which they interact, which, if there's anything I could want from the film, is that maybe it gives an opportunity for a father and son, or a mother and son, or a father and daughter to have a little bit more of a conversation about these very personal parts of our lives that we don't often get to talk about.
Right, right. One of the things that spoke to me most was how our dreams evolve. We grow older and things shift for us, and we accomplish some of those dreams and look for new ones. After doing Finch, how would you say telling its story has caused your dreams to evolve? What's your Golden Gate Bridge now?
That's a good question. I would say it's the journey is the destination. And for me, I don't think I have a Golden Gate Bridge yet in mind, but I know I want it to be with my daughter.
Mm,
I know that I want it to be with my family. I know that as I get older, I want simpler things than I ever wanted before. When you're young, you're ambitious, and there's all these ideas that you have and everything that you want to accomplish. And then gradually you start to realize that it really doesn't matter if you haven't got anybody to do that with, or you haven't got anyone to pass that knowledge on to. And so for me, having a kid has become, and being a father has become probably the most important thing in my life. And I just want to do a good job.
yeah, me too. Well, there's so much more I'd love to ask you. I really enjoyed this film. It really touched me, so I so appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Take
Yeah.
care.
We should be safe once we get into the mountains.
But things will happen, like 150-degree heat, UV radiation, and people hiding in the shadows.
Do you think we'll make it?
Not without my team. What we do together.
I believe in you, Finch.